world that has so much low-effort, mindless slop geared towards kids that provides momentary distraction and nothing else like the Minecraft movie, it was so refreshing to have a return to the world of Zootopia. Kids deserve good movies, good storytelling. I've said it for the past 2 years. They deserve more than just a flashing light to distract them for 90 minutes while their parents take a breath. Zootopia movies undoubtedly love movies. Both these films are packed with references and Easter eggs to other stuff, and they pay homage to all the classic buddy cop films of the 80s and the 90s. Zootopia is willing to take some of the tropes and expectations from those films and flip them on their head to take a look at society itself. The events of the sequel take place a week after the first film, and we see the Lynx family looking to expand their power and control in Zootopia. They are descendants of Ebenezer Lynxley, who was the founder of the city itself. Our heroes Judy and Nick will be drawn into the Lynxley family, a mysterious foe of theirs that appears in the very history of Zootopia itself. They tread very lightly as they investigate a conspiracy that seems to be at foot. They butt heads with the mayor, named Brian Windancer. He is voiced by Patrick Warburton, who is Joe from Family Guy. Our dynamic duo finds some unlikely friends along the way as they try not to get caught up in this web between the mayor, the Lynxleys, and the police force themselves. On the surface, Zootopia 2 feels like a prototypical 2025 kids movie. It's very, very fast-paced. It's full of jokes. I don't think a lot of those jokes are particularly funny, but they're not really aimed at me. I think once you get past the frenzy of activity that this movie uses to try to get your attention, it really settles into a compelling story just like the first film. I think when this film drops its humor, there's a really interesting story here to be told, and there's an interesting dynamic between these two that gets explored even more. The original offered a thorough examination of the concepts of predator and prey and how those concepts can be manipulated by the powers that be. This film really looks at history itself, by who our heroes are, who our villains are, and who gets to tell the story. It's not just a light introductory examination of society that kids can process to kind of get them used to seeing these themes, but it shows us that sometimes you have to deal with people in life that are not like you, but you can find common ground and still really connect. We are in this era of isolation and echo chambers, and we can easily surround ourselves with people that only think and feel exactly as we do. Zootopia is all about showing us that a type A animal that could be considered prey and a type B animal that is considered a predator can coexist and honestly share love. To say, I find this to be a very interesting dynamic. I'm not sure where they're going to go next. I feel like they're kind of getting at a romantic connection in this film, which has always kind of been hinted. Also have to say, I think we don't have enough stories about platonic friendships between men and women. It's really good for kids to see that and understand that it exists, but I'm not sure that's actually the direction they're going to keep this heading. Regardless of all that, I think they are a great buddy cop duo. I find these movies to be very entertaining, very thoughtful, and inventive. They introduce so many different animals and fun situations. It's very, very creative. After the absolutely lifeless disaster that was Moana 2, it's good to see Disney get back on the board with a solid sequel. I don't think this film is quite as funny as the first film or cuts quite as deeply with its commentary. I do think it's still very solid. Giving it a 3.5 out of 5. It's out in theaters this weekend. And let me know your own thoughts on Zootopia down in the comments.